All right. So nice to meet you, Quo. I'm CC. Wow.
Hi. Big fan.
Dude, thanks, man.
I love speed docs.
Dude, it's the best.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. So let's see here. I'm trying to remember what your original story was. I think you said that you were on Speedruns Live back in like 2013 ish.
Sounds about right.
2014 ish. And then
13.
you somehow stumbled across Pokemon Snap. Is that right?
Yes, but it wasn't on Speedruns Live. I think the first run that I saw was on SDA, because there was no speedrun.com back in the day.
Right.
And yeah, I just looked through it. I'm like, wow, that's cool. I wonder if I can do that. And then I did.
And then you did.
And here we are.
And here we are. Whenever you first joined, was there much of a community? Because this would have been, I think, some of your earlier runs, or I think
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer of 2014. So almost 5 years. Wow. But yeah, community. Who was around back then?
Was Karmers around?
Karmers had actually quit by the time I joined, but he was there and
his
left.
world record at beginning of 2014.
Yeah. And
so then Game Fan Dan would have been around.
Yeah, so Game Fan Dan was around. None of the other more prominent figures were around, but there were a bunch of other people. AJ Johnson was there, Jared Crow, Little Square, Area 51.
Oh yeah, forget about all the little people, not the top runners.
Yeah, no, a bunch of people were around. So yeah, there was definitely a community. We had our Skype group because Discord didn't exist.
It
was a good time.
It's weird how this is kind of a tangent. It's kind of weird how people kind of drop off from the community, but I get it. But at the same time, it's like I've stuck around for so long; it just seems natural to me to stick around for a long time.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks.
Indeed. Okay, so then you got your first record. It was mid to late 2014. I'll have to pull up the
October 2nd, 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I joined in 2014. I was there when Dan got his record, and that was late. Or was it mid 2014?
That was late 2014. I thought it was mid 2014 as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, it would have been late 2014, and then he bopped it down a few months later in early 2015, and then I got it like 9 months later after that. So Dan had his 2130 for a while when I got the 2122.
Okay. When you started running, what was sort of like the new tech? Like what were some of the new tricks that people were working out and stuff?
Oh,
or was it sort of just like getting better at not sucking?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So let's see. So Karmers had his 2139, and no one else had sub 22 at the time. Dan would have been the second person, but only after he switched to Japanese, and then he got the record on like his first run, which was funny. But yeah, so I guess most of the tech was just at that point was not being bad. Beach points were rough at the time as they are now, so something like that was obviously something they had to work on. I'm trying to think of the other tricks per se. I guess just having like enough points for like the volcano exit where you want to get Moltres or early Moltres.
Right.
Yeah,
so I think around that time we see. I think what's kind of funny is like even really early on, like Riker Z was doing some of the early Moltres stuff, and then it dropped away for a long time, and then it finally made its way back.
Disappeared. Yeah, it's funny how that happened, but I guess the knowledge wasn't carried over.
Yeah.
Again, no Strats channel in the Discord. But yeah, there was like no Weeping Bell snipe. There was no setup for Menki snipe. People just hoped for it.
Open a prayer.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty much just sort of like what you would expect from a 22-minute time right now, I guess, is what I would say.
Okay, just nothing special.
Yeah.
All right. So then you eventually got your record, and that was October 2015. But it seems like pretty quickly Arg My Toast came around and took the record. When did he show up?
So exactly, I'm not sure, but
Right.
he learned the game from a 12-hour challenge, and then just stuck to it after that.
Oh, okay.
But I think I'm pretty sure. He definitely showed up before I had the record. So he was there. I think after Game Fan Dan got his 2130, but before I got my 2122. Showed up sometime. We're in that time.
Okay.
And he did the 12-hour challenge, and he actually got pretty good really fast. I think he bopped me like a month after I got my record. It was sad.
Yeah, that looks about right. In November or sometime in November.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what were the contributors to that, because he found the Weeping Bell snipe setup, but I'm not sure if he got it in his first run as the record. I mean,
If I remember correctly, looking through all the runs, nobody gets Weeping Bell Snipe until like way later.
I mean, I do, but not with the setup. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
I'll have to go back and watch them all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Toast was just better than me in a few aspects. I think my strengths more lie in trying to optimize, camera movement, lag reduction, and like exiting levels, but I wasn't really focusing on points, and that's what like Toast, Drogi, and Levon all like trashed me on. So that's how they got better than me, because I'd be taking like 2 picks in Valley, and that's where they would save their time.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I mean, you've definitely come into your own right about getting points. You're really good now, but like Drogi is a high score runner. I don't know about Toast. I don't know if he does high score stuff or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but yeah, people kind of focus on different areas, and sometimes it gets better results.
Yeah.
Okay.
That it does.
Were you focusing on Snap for like 2016 and 2017? Because you don't have the record, or you have the record in 2015, and then you're kind of trailing behind until your 2017 2050.
Yeah. What was going on there? So I believe that. So I had stopped doing Snap. I probably switched to a different game for a while. But I think I came back when the Wii U version came out, the Japanese one, that is. And I played on that one, and then we realized that it wasn't actually, a legit version. So that was a bit of a bummer.
I just realized I had the world record at some point. Oh,
whoa!
Ah! It might have been because your Japanese record was invalid.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because that was one of the first Wii
I
runs.
get the feeling, yeah, because there's no way that I would have beat your time. It would have been that your run had to be invalidated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a shame. But never again, because the real Jap Snap is here.
So I've been told, but it's been a few months and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I know. I am as well. I'll have to talk to Rizu about it, because I know that he's like, dude, it works. We did it, boys. And I'm like, oh, cool, share it. And he's like, nah. And he won't even get the record. Oh man, it's terrible.
He doesn't even stream. It's sad. But yeah, just looking through Speedrun.com in 2016, I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I was doing Fire Emblem. I was doing some indie games. I was doing Super Monkey Ball. I was doing Talos Principle. I was doing Honey Pop.
Oh yeah.
I had to mention that in there. So I guess I wasn't focused on Snap that much.
I gotcha.
But yeah, the Wii U version, we did that. Got the record. Turns out like 2 years later, didn't count. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was a sad day. That
That
was one of my
was.
first major actions as a moderator.
Axing my runs. Damn, that's cold.
Yeah, like, okay, you be a mod CC, and then I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I don't think Will's run is legitimate anymore.
These runs, I gotta go.
That's
But
just
the funny
one,
thing is,
wasn't it? Or was it two?
With any percent 10, 100%.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But like I had pointed that out like a year and a half earlier, and no one cared. And then I'm like, okay, well, whatever. they'll stay there. No one bothers with Wii U anyways. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, rest in peace, Wii U.
F. But yeah, that would have been 2016. Because at that point it was, I think Toast had come and gone by that point, and it was really Drogi and Levon doing their back and forth for a little bit. And I was still like somewhat active, but not nearly as much as I was, or as I have been recently, or as I was in the past.
Okay. So Levon was the first person to break the 21 barrier.
On N64.
Yeah, on N64. That's correct. Sorry.
On a legitimate version.
On a legitimate version on that. What do you think led to that? Was it just sort of people getting better, or was there anything in particular? Was it like Weeping Bell Snipe that really pushed it over the edge, or
Weeping Bell Snipe, the volcano exit. I think tunnel exit was also worked on a lot. And same thing with river exit, with like which cluster you get depending on what strat you do. So a bunch of like exits and stuff, and obviously a lot of points optimizations too. So not like Levon raved about his Psyduck setup.
Oh yeah, the apple bounce off the stump.
Yeah. So like, optimizations with points and stuff. So I think it just, like, if you compare the like older like mid 21 runs to the more recent runs, the route hasn't really changed. It's really just we're pushing out frames at this point. It's like menuing is just getting tighter, lag reduction is getting better, camera movement's getting better. So I think it was just a combination of all those things that like slowly drops the time down. And even to this day, I would say the same thing will follow for, like, we'll talk about the rest of the runs obviously, but it's all these little things that just keep on adding up and adding for seconds getting removed. I guess Levon just, he was definitely grinding for it.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, eventually just broke the 21.
Yeah, he would be doing streams for like 6 hours from like 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. just constantly going. And he would reset on beach like 90% of the time.
Yep.
But it paid off.
That it did.
Yep.
But for how long?
Not for long. Not for very long. Rest in peace, Levon. F in chat, dude. You eventually got a 2050 though, and that run lasted from June 2017 till January 2019. It's a full year and
year and a half,
6 months. Yeah, that's a full year and 6 months, which is pretty. It's the longest standing world record since
other than
Geo's.
Yeah. It's it was quite the momentous time.
So who was the first person to beat it? Drogi? Well, okay, so technically it was Levon, if we're going to be technical about it.
If we're counting frames, it was Levon.
Levon beat it by like point something seconds,
like
but not enough.
Frames.
It was still a 2050. And then Drogi beat the 2050 with 2049. And then very quickly after that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 world records the next few months.
Yeah.
So what do you think it was that really did anything change in the route, or was it just inspiration?
I think it was more like, because like I think I beat Levon's time like a month after he got his, so he had been grinding for a while, and I guess he was just burnt out and didn't want to focus on Snap as much. And Drogi always leaves Snap to do his SM64 crap, but we forgive him for that. So I think just it was a mix of, there were only 3 like viable people that could get the record, just because like I don't want to gloat, but like we are on a bit of another level, and no one else was pushing their time nearly down as far. So it was a mix of that, and then no one was really working on it, I guess, up until 2019.
Okay.
And then, yeah, because like all the strats were there. Like I even said, I forget when, but I said that there was like still 8 seconds of time save in any percent back in 2017.
Yeah, that was one of the common things that I kept hearing was that like Levon and Drogi and you were kind of like, man, the world record's like bad. And one of the things I always remember telling people is like, if the world record is bad, then beat it. You know what I mean? Like it's the fastest we've ever gone. And you guys are like, it's terrible. I'm like, I mean, I don't know, man. It can't be that bad. But I mean, you're not wrong with essentially the same strats. You guys were able to push it another 15 seconds.
Not the same strats, I'd say. There
What do you think
were
changed?
like if I remember correctly, I'm actually gonna click through this real quick. But I think, for example, we used to get the second Lapras.
Oh, that's true. First Lapras happened.
Yeah. So right here I can see it. So we got the second Lapras, for example. So that's like a second of lag or whatever.
Was that found after 2017?
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Dude, high five to me. I found that shit. Let's go.
Good job.
My biggest contribution. Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe like strat-wise, but
Strat-wise.
You've done a lot for the community, let's face it.
Thank you. I try.
But yeah, there were a few new strats, not many. Like honestly, if you take the run now and compare it to when I started running, I think there's like the only big route difference is we take Pikachu at a different place, and then there's a few Pokemon we take at different points in the same level. So like nothing big changed. I think like I don't know, I guess we just kept on pushing each other, and that's why it dropped. And then more research was done in like lag reduction and stuff.
Still so much to be done.
That there is.
One day, one of these days, we'll sit down and we'll work it out.
Yeah. So anyways, it took a year and a half, but Levon finally tied it.
Yeah. Okay. So in December of 2018, I announced that I would be hosting a Pokemon Snap 80% tournament. Instead of me describing it, how did you feel, or how do you think the community felt about the tournament?
I think people were excited. So like one of the things about Snap is that race-wise it doesn't really work that well, just because there's a coin flip in the middle of the run, and if one person gets it and the other one doesn't, well, basically the race is over by then, because no one's like time gap is that big that you can knock it closer and still win, right? But I think like the format that we had really lent itself well to Snap. So I think people were like, they thought about it and they got interested and then joined, obviously. And yeah, people seemed to have a good time. So all in all, I think people were hyped about getting into it and were pretty excited throughout most of it.
I think it was also a bit of a perfect storm. As in like we had Candy and Collins and Rizu and Liam Kings and Artemis and Proto all joining the community right at that time. I mean, even before that, I mean, like Candy and Collins and Otter were racing for sub 22. So we had like 3 up and coming, like higher echelon runners, like actually serious speedrunners coming up. And they pushed it really far, and that was really exciting. And then at the turn of the year, we finally go to AGDQ, and we're like Snap missionaries, just handing out cartridges, and we get people involved. And yeah, it just seemed like that was the best time, and people were finally back in it, and people were ready to play again. And I think that's when we started seeing all the world records. And I think on the one hand, you're right, the 3 top people who could push the world record. Levon was burnt out. I don't think he's done any speedrunning of anything before the Snap tournament, not for a long time.
No, he was doing like Portal Airboat % for a while, but that didn't
that's
last
true.
very long.
And then we had Drogi, and Drogi's always doing SM64 or Paper Mario or something.
The bastard.
Yeah. And then you were busy doing other stuff.
It's a long list.
Yeah. And then we finally got Liam Kings, and Liam was able to really push the envelope as well. Could you maybe describe Liam Kings to me, or like his run?
His run or him?
Not like him personally. Like, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. No, I mean like
I mean, we're not entirely sure if he's human or not. So like,
there's that. Yeah.
No. Yeah, Liam just like like I taught him like the beginner strats at AGDQ, and by the end of AGDQ, it's like, okay, he's like ready for the expert strats almost.
Mhm.
He learns really fast, and he can apply it in runs really like efficiently. And I guess that's his strength. I mean, that's why he's as good as he is in SM64, and that's why he got as good as he was in Snap.
Mhm. Yeah, it was strange. I remember seeing like he had literally never played the game before, and he was playing a little bit, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, like you want to do some lag reduction here, like or just I was teaching him like as if he was a regular person, and I'm like, okay, well, this is your first time. He's like getting like a 26 on his run. I see him like with a little phone timer going.
Yep,
I'm like, okay, 26, let's go. Like that's good PB.
it's
Like, it's good.
acceptable. Good
Yeah,
beginning time.
I'm trying to be like encouraging and stuff, and then like that by the end of the event, he goes home and he starts posting times of like 21s, and then eventually he beats the 21 record or the 21 barrier. He's in 2050s now. And then all just insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really surprising.
Always surprising. And then after the tournament, though, you kept pushing. The tournament ended sort of, I forget when it ended exactly, but it was like mid-April. And then
No, end of March, I think.
was it end of March?
Ooh,
That sounds right.
Yeah, no, definitely end of March.
That sounds right. Then let's see here. I'm trying to look at the dates here. So then after that,
Yeah, because the timeline
Liam
was
gets February.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Liam gets 2040 in February, and then you get the 2035 in April.
Yes.
What were we going to
Or
say?
well, we're missing a few times in there.
I know that you had the 2038.
Yeah.
That was not recorded.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Was there another record that I don't know of?
Okay, there was the 2050 tie. There was the 2049. I got the 2045.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jorgi got the 2043 in the tournament.
Yep.
Then Liam got the 2040. Then I tied the 2040. Then there was the 2038. And then the 2035.
Did you post the 2040 to the leaderboard?
Yeah.
Huh. Why did I not notice? Okay. I'll go double check.
I mean,
But,
I'm pretty sure you're the one that verified it.
I probably did. I'm just dumb. View obsoleted runs.
Yeah, you're the one that verified it.
Okay. I just forgot then because I'm stupid.
Yeah, and it was a tied record for I guess a while until I got the 2035.
Gotcha. So that would be after the tournament. You just wanted to keep on grinding, or?
Yeah, so I tied Liam with a 2040, and it was like a 2040 and 2 frames. And like my goal at the time was a 2039 for 2 reasons. First of all, that was the next milestone, first of all. But second of all, when I started, the record was 2139. So I thought like, oh, if the record can drop like a minute, I'll feel like good about that time, Like that was my goal.
Right.
And it's like I'm 3 frames off. I lost 5 seconds at Mew. Like how hard can this be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got my 2038 like 2 weeks later, and I was like super excited. And I don't remember a time in my life that I've been so excited to like so sad in a short amount of time, because I realized that my recording program was not recording. So that was not a fun time.
That's a yikes from me, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was just
okay.
I had my goal there, and I was motivated to do it. And it's like, okay, I got this time once. Like I can do it again. So.
I gotcha. Yeah, I can't speak to the magnitude of that, but at the same time, I remember at AGDQ 2018, Lemon and I were doing 2P1C, and we beat the time that we have now. It wasn't by a lot; it was by like 10 seconds, but he wasn't recording, And I'm like, yes, we got a better time. And we're high-fiving. And we're like, yeah, man, this is great. And we look, and Lemon goes, uh-oh. I'm like, what is it? He's like, CC, you're going to be mad. I'm like,
That's
what
it.
did you do? He's like, I didn't record. God damn it. That's...
Yeah.
It is what it is, though.
It is what it is.
It's probably for the best, though, because you ended up coming back and you beat it by 3 more seconds. So you pushed the record another 5 seconds. You know, so it's like you really knocked it out. And it's like, okay, now we can put it to rest. Now it can
put a bookmark in this one for now.
That's right. And you can lay it down.
To be fair, though, after my 2038, I did do quite a bit of research and like lag reduction in a few different places. So I think there's like 4 seconds of lag reduction saved between the 2 runs.
Wow. 4 whole seconds?
So part of it was the muck and cave not throwing a pest ball saves like 2 seconds. Which is something that like I guess we all knew was faster, but not by how much exactly. But yeah, it's like 2 seconds faster. And I actually got that in my the record right now.
Right.
But it is like luck dependent because muck needs to be facing you and whatever. But so that was 2 seconds there, and then a bit in tunnel and signs as well.
Tunnel.
But yeah.
Okay.
Just a bit more research. There's always something to find in this game.
Yeah, it's one of the things I keep talking about, but I almost feel like we've probably exhausted like 99% of everything that we could look into that we know of. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for now, anyways.
Yeah, for now. I'm
sure we get our hands on like the game code or like something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any tools. I've legitimately thought about putting out like not like a bounty, but sort of like a contract of being like, hey, if you guys can come up with like some useful practice tools or tasking tools or something like that, like if somebody can get out there and actually make us, you know, some tools that will work, that'll let us, you know, do stuff, like I will pay money for that.
You will get a lifetime supply of jam.
It's true. I'll do it. I just don't know how much that thing would cost. You know, like it'd be easy to put like $100 out there, but I feel like that kind of work would require more than $100.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's a damn shame we don't have anybody that knows how to do that shit.
Yeah,
I'd try my hand at it if I knew what the hell I was doing, but alas, it's not for me.
Unfortunate, but such is life.
Such is life.
We'll get it one day.
Okay. We're doing kind of shorter interviews for this one. Although the Spark interview was really long because Spark is a good dude. Interesting duty.
What are you saying about me here?
Because we talk all the fucking time.
Okay,
there's nothing left to talk about. We've exhausted it all. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I have any other questions for you, but I don't think I really do. We talked about the tournament. We talked about current. Talked about how you got started and everything. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. All right, Quill. Thanks for staying up late. Although I think you said you just got out of work, so.
Yeah, pretty much. This is like the second time in a row I stay up till 4 a.m. for Snap.
Jesus. Yes, there you go.
The bingo
all right.
and stuff.
Let's go ahead and end this thing here. So.
All right. Shout outs to Dan.